I'm going to say to them, when it comes to Oxnards downtown, you better get in, because with Mayor Flynn, the downtown is going to win. So, sloganeering is fine, right? That might be a catch of some kind. But what people want to know about downtown Oxnard is they want to know, if I invest money, if I take my savings, or I take the savings and the capital of other investors, is that money going to make money? People aren't going to invest unless they're convinced that they're going to make money. And so I think when they see that new vision of that downtown, when they see that the 6 redevelopment properties that we're getting ready to put on the market, what those are going to look like after the city sells those properties. We're mandated by state law to sell those properties. That we're going to bring younger people to the downtown, we're going to bring single people to the downtown, we're going to bring people to the downtown that can walk to the transportation center, which is transit-oriented development, and most importantly, we're going to bring people to the downtown, a diversity to the downtown that is going to have disposable income. If people come to the downtown that have money to spend, it's not going to assist the retail. We need people with pockets. We need people that have money, that are going to spend that money downtown.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. Mr. Flynn says, with Flynn you win. What do you think about that, Mr. Sepulveda? You get 1 minute.
Well, Tim, with all due respect, I think if we would have won, we would have won already. But at the end of the day, it's about what do we do to attract those businesses? And you said a lot of the right buzzwords. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's if you're going to open up a business in downtown, you have to be able to be profitable. If you can't be profitable, then you're not going to open up. But before we can even talk about that, we have to make the process easy for somebody to open up. And we have to streamline that, and that's what we have to really look at. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sepulveda. Now back to you, Mr. Lopez. 1 minute. What do you think about what Mayor Flynn said?
I have to agree with my friend right here to the right that if with Flynn you win, we would have already won. I'll tell you that I've talked with so many different business owners and investors from all over our community. I've met with folks and members from the Oxnard Chamber. I've met with folks who are members of EDCO. They have expressed their frustration simply with the city's inability to process their plans. Not even get their permits, but just process their plans. I've heard from folks that it takes up to 8 months to just get their plans approved. We need to do better. We must do better. And when I'm mayor, we will do better.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Now back to you, Mr. Sepulveda. You get your 2 minutes. This is your elevator pitch to attract new businesses to downtown Oxnard.
All right, this is going to be very difficult to do, but I'll keep it brief. The city of Oxnard is the largest economy and has the largest population in Ventura County. We have a culturally diverse community. My personal business experience working with the Fortune 500 companies has proven that Oxnard is a profitable location. You can open up a business here and you will do extremely well. With my experience with PetSmart and Ross and opening up stores, running them here, they're very profitable businesses. They do extremely well. We have a well-educated workforce here that is dedicated and will do what it takes for those businesses to survive and to do well, to thrive. What we have to do here in Oxnard is continue or work towards making the permitting process easy so that businesses can open up in our community and especially in our downtown. We really have to embrace the revitalization of the downtown area. And I believe that Oxnard is a very strong economy, and as long as you have the right business model, you will succeed because the customer base is here. The dollars are here. People are willing to spend, but we just have to make it so that they want to come to the downtown area. And that's going to drive change because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And if we think that we're going to drive different results with what we've done in the past, we're wrong. It's a mistake.
Thank you, Mr. Sepulveda. Well, he's taking us to the top floor with his elevator pitch. What do you think about it, Mr. Lopez?
You know, they say that the first 10 seconds are perhaps the most important, and I can't say that I was necessarily sold or even inspired. I do appreciate his background in business. I think it's a tremendous asset. Clearly an accomplished record, and one that I too will look for advice after I am elected your mayor. But quite frankly, we need to really go out there and reach out to business partners, stakeholders, and investors who are going to have an appreciation for the richness of our cultural diversity here. Businesses that are a good fit for this community, right? And that's when we will be able to see the city and downtown thrive. We really need to revisit also the housing element, the housing plan for downtown. What has made other parts successful, like Seabridge as a master plan award-winning community, and also River Park, is that they have the residential density to support the businesses. We don't have that here downtown, and that's going to be centrally important also to really develop, mixed-use housing to really support the businesses so that our downtown can not only thrive, but be one that we are all proud of and happy to support.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Mr. Flynn, 1 minute about that elevator pitch.
Well, I'd just like to add to it. I'd like to add that what we know has worked and is working in Oxnard is the collection at River Park. It's wildly successful. And ironically enough, the collection has presented a real challenge for the downtown. First and foremost, I was the only city councilman to vote against the exclusive theater agreement for the downtown. Because I believe that we need to get this theater up and running before we allow theaters in other places. But what do we really want to see? Why don't we use the collection as an example of what we want to see? I would like to see another rendition of the collection, but a more authentic version of the collection. We know it's going to be very difficult to attract top, A accounts to the downtown in the way that River Park is there. That is going to be very challenging. And in this case, it's going to be mom and pop shops that bring an authentic alternative to what is successful at the collection.
Thank you, Mayor Flynn. Okay, well, I think we got through that question. Everybody got their time?
All of you as investors, and so to that, let me tell you that downtown Oxnard is a diamond in the rough. It represents an opportunity for all of you investors to provide a niche. It provides a niche for neighborhood commercial services, an urban residential living, and within a richly diverse community. For you, it is a ground level opportunity. I tell you, take advantage of it first because it will pay dividends. Now let me tell you a little bit about Oxnard. We are the 19th largest city in California, and we are a strong economic player. I'll tell you that we are centrally located between Los Angeles and Santa Barbara, right next to Malibu. Santa Barbara, some of which people refer to as the French Riviera of the West. We are miles away from the newest CSU campus with Kelsey Channel Islands, and our population is over 200,000 people. What does that mean to you? It really means that we have a community of hard-working people, some of the hardest working people. And for you, it also means tremendous opportunity and business. We are known for our strawberries and so much more. Our location, our weather, which has been a little unseasonal the last 2 days, as well as a major transportation hub. We have Amtrak, we have, a Union Pacific, Metrolink, Greyhound, and a deep water port that is the largest between LA and Santa Barbara that really opens the door to the global economy. We are an archway to the Channel Islands. We are an entry point to California, the country, and we also have an opportunity to be a larger global player in this economy. So welcome to Oxnard. Let's polish up this diamond and let's create some opportunity and business here in the heart of Oxnard.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Well, Mr. Flynn, what did you think about his elevator speech? 1 minute.
Well, there's a famous comedy by Mel Brooks, and I would just say now, who can argue with that? I think that it's going to take much more than salesmanship, but I've been a salesman many years before I got into teaching, and the previous city councils 15 years ago tried to sell the downtown, and it resulted in the theater deal, and it was a guarantee for 25 years and all kinds of things like that. So I think we're going to need much more than just salesmanship. You know, the weather and the people here sell themselves. No one needs to sell the weather of Oxnard. It's going to take dynamic leadership. It's going to take focus. It's going to take attention. And it's going to take a reprioritization of exactly what the city wants to do with a broader economic development program. It's not just about the downtown, it's about the whole city and its prosperity, and in particular, the prosperity of the residents. So I like what Miguel has to say, and his experience as a spokesperson shows. And one thing I've told him before, I've been accused of being wordy and loquacious. He has me beat.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. You think so? All right. Mr. Sepulveda, what did you think about what you heard from Mr. Lopez?
Well, first off, you both had me beat with your words. But let me just say, it's a beautiful brochure summary of Oxnard, and I'm sold. I'm gonna stay here. I'm never gonna move, and this is where I'm gonna be. I love it. Thank you. But like Tim said, it's a little bit more than just selling our natural beauty. It's about attracting businesses here to the city and ensuring that they're able to get the support that they deserve and they need so that we can streamline the processes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sepulveda.
Yeah? Okay. All right, well, first off, thank you so much for this debate. Really appreciate being here tonight. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Armando Sepulveda, and I want to be your next mayor. And you know, I'm a lifetime resident here of Oxnard. I went to Winnie High School. I graduated from Cal Lutheran with a degree in business administration. And I worked for Fortune 500 companies for the last 20 years. And part of my job working for these companies was to help underperforming stores, underperforming districts, areas that needed to drive revenue, understand cost control. And what makes me a little bit more unique than some of the other candidates is that I have that business background. I understand what it takes to drive revenue and to develop businesses. Part of my jobs as I was working with those companies was to help identify locations to establish new businesses, opening up new stores. And I will tell you that it is a complicated process. You all know how complicated it is. As a business, you get turned off if you're not able to get the permits that you need in the right zoning. And I had an opportunity to deal with that. I had an opportunity to sit in some city council meetings, mainly in the LA area and the Valley, where we're opening up new locations up in Pasadena, etc., and really experience what it is from both sides. And I had a chance to see that and be part of it. So I feel that I'm qualified to help drive the city where it needs to be. I manage those budgets in excess of $300 to $400 million, and I want to do the same. I want to be successful here for the city of Oxnard. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sepulveda. Let's hold our applause. Let's hold on, folks. We're going to get through all of it. Mr. Lopez.
Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing? Good, good. Thank you so much for joining us here today. My name is Miguel Lopez, for those that I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet. I want to tell you that I've grown with the city of Oxnard for the past 35 years. I've seen and experienced firsthand many of the challenges that our city has confronted over the last 3 decades. And to that end, I'll tell you that I was tremendously blessed to also grow up in a stronger, more vibrant, more prosperous time. For me, I also had the opportunity to graduate, go to UC Santa Barbara, where I completed my undergraduate degree, before getting some professional experience, also in a Fortune 500 company, and then actually going back to school to pursue what was my PhD in higher education and organizational change from UCLA. All of that prepared me for one opportunity. There was one opportunity for folks throughout the entire country, and that was for a leadership training opportunity with the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute. That took me to the nation's capital, where I had the opportunity to work at the highest levels of government. And I'll tell you that it also gave me the opportunity to experience dysfunction at the highest levels of government. I learned a lot while I was out there, and quite frankly, I came back to one of the most difficult positions in the entire city 3 years ago, and that was working with the Oxnard Police Department. I'll tell you that I didn't have any law enforcement background, but what I did have was something that I think the chiefs very much appreciated, which was a high quality education, experience in public outreach, and public engagement. We were able to navigate some of the most difficult times, not only in the history of the Oxnard Police Department, but quite frankly, the entire community. Let me tell you why I'm running for mayor. I'm running for mayor to prioritize public safety once again, 2, to invest in economic development for our community, and 3, to restore what is trust and leadership in the office of the mayor and throughout City Hall. So I hope to earn your vote of confidence and then your vote come November 8th. And once again, thank you so much.
Mr. Lopez, thank you very much, sir. Mr. Flynn?
First of all, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much to Casa Lopez and Mr. Francis and the downtown PBID for sponsoring this forum. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to meet the mayoral candidates as well as the candidates for city council. What that tells me is that each and every person in this room believes in Oxnard. And you believe, as I do, that Oxnard, when it comes to its neighborhoods, streets, the downtown, economic opportunity, that Oxnard has more potential than any city in Ventura County. There are 10 cities in Ventura County. We have a quarter of the county's population. And I like to think, as your mayor for the last 4 years, that we've taken the city from a position where financially huge mistakes were made. As we know from the DA investigation 6 years ago, money was misappropriated. And the fact of the matter is that that led most recently to the city's credit rating being downgraded to a negative. And just 2 days ago, the city's credit rating was upgraded to stable. 2 years ago, half the residential streets in Oxnard had not been paved. Today, we're on schedule to pave every residential street that has not been paved in the city of Oxnard. Several years ago, we had decision making at a level where even the city council, even the auditors that audited the city's books did not catch the deception and the hiding of what the city's financial situation was with the public. And in a short 2 years, every single department head has been replaced. We got a leader, Greg Nyhoff, who I support 100%, who has brought this city from the brink of financial ruin to what it is today. I'm seeking another term as mayor, and I'm asking you for your support so that we can renew our focus on Oxnard neighborhoods and on quality of life. Many of you watch city council meetings. I'm obsessed with quality of life, especially in neighborhoods. And finally, it's about jobs and the downtown. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. All right, now everybody applaud. Thank you all.